Jennifer wiped the grease from her hands as she surveyed the diplomatic chamber aboard the Celestial Dawn. The sleek obsidian walls of the Crithian warship gleamed under bioluminescent panels, and the air hummed with tension. Across from her stood Commander Zarthok, a towering figure whose iridescent exoskeleton reflected the dim light like oil on water. His 4 eyes fixed on her with barely concealed disdain. "Your species is weak," Zarthok declared, his translator rendering his clicks and hisses into perfect English. "We have conquered 12 star systems. We have faced the crystalline horrors of Proxima 7 and the void serpents that nest in dead suns. We fear no beast in this universe." Jennifer exchanged a glance with Alex, her young research assistant who stood nervously clutching his datapad. The kid was fresh out of the academy, still idealistic about first contact protocols. She'd brought him along to learn, though she was beginning to regret that decision. "That's impressive," Jennifer said carefully, keeping her voice neutral. "But perhaps we should discuss the trade agreement." "There will be no agreement," Zarthok interrupted. "Earth will submit to Crithian authority, or we will demonstrate why every sentient species from here to the galactic core trembles at our approach." Alex stepped forward, his face flushed. "You can't just threaten us. We have defenses, allies." "Silence, juvenile." Zarthok's mandibles clicked with amusement. "What could your primitive world possibly possess that would give us pause?" Jennifer pinched the bridge of her nose. She'd been doing this job for 15 years, navigating the egos of countless alien species who thought humans were just another race of naive primitives ripe for exploitation. Usually, she could finesse her way through with diplomacy and carefully worded treaties, but the Crithians were different. They respected only strength and fear. "Look," she said, "you haven't met my Aunt Margaret's cat." The chamber fell silent. Even the ambient hum seemed to fade. Zarthok's translator crackled. "What is cat?" "Oh boy," Alex muttered. Jennifer pulled out her personal communicator and brought up a photo. "This is Mr. Whiskers. He's a 12-pound ball of pure chaos and concentrated malevolence. My aunt rescued him from a shelter 5 years ago." The Crithian commander leaned forward, his sensors analyzing the image. "This small mammal? This is your weapon?" "Weapon? No. Mr. Whiskers is a pet, a companion animal." Jennifer swiped through more photos. "See, here he is knocking a priceless vase off a shelf. Here he is at 3 a.m. screaming for food despite having a full bowl. And this is him after he somehow opened a locked closet and shredded my aunt's vintage wedding dress. I do not understand the relevance." "The point," Jennifer continued, warming to her theme, "is that Mr. Whiskers cannot be reasoned with, cannot be intimidated, cannot be controlled. My aunt is a retired Marine colonel who fought in the Titan Wars. She once stared down a charging Venusian sand bear without flinching. But Mr. Whiskers? He terrorizes her daily." Alex caught on, pulling up additional files on his datapad. "We have documentation. There's an entire scientific study on the psychological impact of domestic cats on human populations. They're essentially small-scale apex predators that we voluntarily live with." "Voluntarily?" Zarthok's voice carried a note of confusion. "Oh, yes," Jennifer said. "We feed them, shelter them, and they repay us by leaving dead animals on our pillows and judging us silently from high places." She pulled up a video. Mr. Whiskers sat on a kitchen counter, deliberately maintaining eye contact with the camera as he slowly pushed a glass toward the edge. The glass fell and shattered. "Your species chooses this?" Zarthok seemed genuinely disturbed. "Every day. There are approximately 600 million domestic cats on Earth. Some people have multiple cats. My cousin Brad has 7. This is madness." "Maybe," Jennifer agreed. "But here's the thing, Commander. You say you fear no beast. You've faced void serpents and crystalline horrors. But have you ever tried to give medication to an animal that has retractable claws, lightning-fast reflexes, and absolutely no concept of gratitude or cooperation? Alex brought up another file. Last year, Mr. Whiskers needed antibiotics. It took 4 people, 3 towels, and 2 trips to the emergency room for humans injured in the attempt. Zarthok was silent for a long moment. The emergency room? For the humans attempting to help the cat? Mr. Whiskers was fine, Jennifer confirmed. Aunt Margaret needed 17 stitches. The Crithian commander's exoskeleton shifted through several colors Jennifer's cultural briefings hadn't covered. His translator stayed silent, suggesting he was having a private conversation with his crew. Finally, Zarthok spoke. Let me understand this clearly. Your species has domesticated predators that actively harm you, show no loyalty, and provide... What function exactly? They purr, Alex offered, and sometimes they sit on your lap. Sometimes? When they want to. You can't make them. Zarthok turned to his tactical display, where Earth hung like a blue marble. Jennifer could practically see him reassessing. A species that voluntarily lived with millions of tiny, uncontrollable predators. A species where retired military commanders accepted defeat from 12-pound mammals. A species that considered this normal. We will reconsider our approach, Zarthok said finally. Perhaps a trade agreement would be mutually beneficial after all. Jennifer smiled. I think that's very wise, Commander. As they began to discuss terms, Alex leaned over and whispered, Did we just avoid an invasion because of your aunt's cat? Never underestimate the diplomatic value of controlled chaos, Jennifer whispered back. Besides, wait until they learn about geese. Zarthok's head snapped toward them. What is geese? Jennifer's smile widened. Oh, Commander, I think that's a conversation for another day.